Welcome, everyone, to the 6th episode of PBJenesis, the battle for peanut butter and jelly. My name is Adam Kahmann from Kahmann Gaming, Games for Good. In the previous episode, we had JB versus Zuffel, and Zuffel came out the victor. This time, we will have Dalniar42 and Lennek, our StarCraft masters, duke it out to see who will make it to the semifinals. And without further ado, everyone, let's get started at King's Kitchen. Team Peanut Butter versus Team Jelly. On the left, playing as Team Peanut Butter, we have the learned and likable Lennek. And on the right, we have the dangerous and daring Dalinar42. Now, both of these players in the previous round have done fantastic matches. They're just, you can tell that they're very, for their experience playing StarCraft and other competitive games, they can prove that they can learn a game pretty well, and they know how to be competitive. So this will be a very interesting match to play. King's Kitchen is a pretty basic map, so we really have a chance to show each player's how they're going to react. Which right now it looks like both players are taking the macro route, where they're going to try to build up their economy, not try to do too many attacks early on. They're not doing that crazy strat that Dalniar42 is doing, which I actually, honestly, I think I actually think it's a very viable strat to rush someone down at the gnome. It's just that when you do, make sure you commit all the way. If it doesn't work, it's gonna hurt you. But it is a totally viable strat to try to rush someone down. It's just that there's some risks that go along with it. Some people might not like it, but it's viable. And looks like both people are gonna fight for the center of the board. Lennek is building cannons everywhere and having his fly support everyone. And there's Dalniar42 building some flies of his own. I actually do believe that Splares would be a good option, which he was about to build, but it looks like it was a bit too late, and he just got hit by those peanuts coming in. Very good location to put those cannons right in the middle where the player would not really expect it. And oh boy, and there's the rush, everyone. Dalniar42 rushing in with a garden gnome, and oh, he's destroying his banks. Lennek is losing his banks to the garden gnome. Oh, dang. Will Lennek recover from that attack? This actually does put Dalniar42 a little bit in the lead, and probably would have been better to build a Splayer that spot instead of a fly, but Lennek does have a lot of cannons, which is very good at keeping the captain at bay. So if you're worried that your opponent's going to rush you down, you want to do exactly what Lennek's doing right now, is build lots of cannons everywhere, because that's going to require the opponent, the captain, to dodge all those bullets. If you just have a bunch of pieces of bread and toast there, the player can just walk up to it, garden gnome, and then build Splares, and there's nothing you can really do to happen. But with the cannons, it's going to pressure them to move and dodge them. And it's going to make it a lot harder for your opponent to rush you. So now, looks like Dalniar42 is taking a bit of a breather and just going to build up some banks while those Splares are taking care of him. I actually personally think, well, it's good to build banks. I think it'd be a good idea to take control of the middle of the board too. And because, stage control is very important in this game. The more stage you have, the more room you have to build banks, and the less options you give to your player to attack you. And it looks like Lennek is coming down, building Splares. Oh! Oh no! Oh boy, guys. You can't build the Splares fast. This is painful to watch. Oh no! Oh, guys, that is why you watch the map. And that is also why it's good to have cannons. Now he's got the cannons backing him off. And Lennek is just slowly building up money while Dalniar42 hardly has any money left, and he's a good dodge, and now Lennek's attacking from the other end with the garden gnomes. This is an intense game. What is happening, everyone? From one moment, like Dalniar42 is attacking Lennek with garden gnomes, and then Lennek's attacking straight back. This is quite a match, everyone. This is very interesting to see how each player reacts to the other. Oh, well, what will they do next? Now, Dalinar is lacking on defenses compared to Lennek. Especially his right side. He's got lots of cannons, lots of toast, and has lots of banks on that side. Now, it looks like Dalniar42 did learn from his... he keeps on building the bread there, didn't mean to do that. He just learned from his mistakes and built toast surrounding him instead of bread, because toast is better at warding off the splares. However, a garden gnome will instantly destroy the toast, so it's kind of like a toss-up. Garden gnomes can't kill the bread, but they can kill toast, and the splares can kill the bread but can't kill the toast. So it's kind of a toss-up with 50-50, which he's built a garden gnome, and there it's gone, and he built more splares! Oh, that's a second attack! Lennek took advantage of that! Oh, what will he do? He lost all that money that he built building those banks. And now Lennek is taking advantage by building portals in the top right of the screen. Honestly, I think Dalinar's best bet is to attack the top left of Lennek's base. Even though there's not, most of the banks are on the right side, so that's the side where it would hurt most. But now the Dalniar42 is like, I forget it, I'm not building these walls anymore, whatever. And now he's building both types of walls. Will he be able to recover, guys? If it wasn't for that, I think Dalinar would have had this, but that's going to be a hard thing. See, that's what you want to do. You want to build toast and bread. Because that wouldn't have stopped him before, though, either. That's actually why it's more important to have cannons, too, because it stops the captain from coming. And there must be something up in the middle of Lennek's base. Oh, it's a piece of toast. But now Lennek, see, now look at all the land that Lennek claimed. So Dalinar needs to get past that wall, but now look, the splares are coming. The portals are now making their mark. There's gonna see, that's the power of portals, everyone. See, he still has splares coming, keeping pressure on his opponent, and he's building banks at the same time. That is why it's so important to build hives and portals. But in this version, definitely portals. But in the next in the version currently, hives, I do believe, are pretty helpful too. Especially if you want to keep your opponent away from you. So now he's building splares to attack it, but it's just delaying the inevitable because he's paying about 1,500 on every splare, while all those other splares that he's making that attacking his base right there, he's not paying a single dollar for them. Because the portals are making them already. So if he really wants to solve the problem, he has to kill the portals, but to do that, he has to get past all those defenses. So that is why portals are so strong in this game, everyone. And looks like Lennek found a weak spot in Dalniar42's defenses, and there's absolutely nothing blocking him. Guys, I think this game has gone to Lennek at this point. It's very hard to say right now, but it's pretty much gone to Lennek. I will definitely have to create a surrender button, because yeah, I'll have to create a surrender button so people can just, because sometimes this, you have to know when you're defeated. I mean, Dalniar could make it back. I don't know, but it's at this point, it's going to be very hard to make past everything. It's already gone past that breaking point. The thing is, Dalniar42 might have stopped Lennek a couple of times with his bank, and he might have attacked his banks directly, like once, but Lennek did it twice, and now he hit the surrender button. The gnomes are temporary one. Team Peanut Butter wins the game. This is great, everyone. And I wasn't even able to look at those results, but hopefully some of you can pause it, take a look at it. I'm pretty sure Lennek had more banks, but mostly because he destroyed more banks. So it's possible that Dalniar42 did make more. And now Dalniar42 is picking the stage, and it looks like he's eyeing the Warring Wasteland. Team Peanut Butter versus Team Jelly on the Warring Wasteland. Now here we go. Now they're both going to start building up banks. And we're going to see what's going to happen, everyone. So I don't believe I came up with a question of the day for this match, but this is not related to video games. But what is your favorite movie, everyone? And for me, as personally, I'll say two. I guess I'm cheating by saying two, but I would say It's a Wonderful Life and The Dark Knight. Some of my two favorite movies, completely different, but I like them for different reasons. One's very sentimental to me, and one of them I just think is a great movie and is a great villain in it. So please share in the comments below what is your favorite movie. And yeah. So there was both building banks. And it just seems to be a macro game for these two. And so yeah, I don't really know what to say, guys. This is pretty much how every game starts. As you can also comment below, what do you think an ideal starting bank count would be? Right now it's 6 banks for each person. What do you think? Do you think it'd be a better one, 10 or less or more? Please let me know, and you can, as you test the game, you can do it. Now, I don't know if any of you have realized this right now, and I feel really silly for this afterwards, but there's actually something that was wrong with this map. I'm not going to say until the end, because you might have noticed it already, and you might be putting in the comments below. You might have put in the comments below before, but there's actually one side has an advantage over the other, and it's an oversight I made when I raced the tournament. In the official, and once again, I know I say this all the time, but in the official release, I have fixed this problem. I'm not gonna say it. You can say in the comments below. I will address it in the last video of this series, but it was a problem. Fortunately, I mean, it did affect some. I do believe it affects some of the outcome of some of the matches, but since they were best 2 out of 3, I believe this mistake in this map did not really make the issue with. It didn't really make an issue with the actual results of the tournament. I do believe like the issue that was on this map didn't affect the overall results. It did results, and like I'll explain it more at the end, but it might be kind of more obvious in this video, especially when you're watching both sides. But once again, I want to let you guys figure that out. So it looks like Dalniar42 is taking the middle of the board. I guess the winner of this match will be pretty obvious which side has the advantage. I'll let you figure it out in the comments below. Mistakes can happen. Nobody's perfect, everyone. But now Dalniar42 has learned from his mistakes of all those rushes he's gotten before, and he's just building a layer. He's making a toast bread sandwich with bread in the middle and toast on the outside. And he's building splayers, the portals, right behind that. That is going to be a tough wall to get past. Well, I guess Lennek is going straight for the portals, and this has been a very less aggressive game and the more of the macro build. And yeah, Dalinar is he's just building up his setup, and it looks like a pretty good setup to me. And it's a good spot to put it in the middle, because it is kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on in there. But if you look at the the map, you can just see lots of hints of purple behind it, and he's basically has controlled everything. So if you really think about it, Dalniar42 has most of the map, and now he can just build all these banks back here, and to get to these banks, he has to get through that wall. So if he didn't cover that wall all the way through, then Lennek would have to he could just go all the way around and attack him, but since he covered the whole thing, they have to get past that wall first. So sometimes in this game, it's best just to like block your opponent from getting to you completely, and that can be hard in big maps like this. And that's why it's also important to watch the map and see what your opponent's doing, because maybe it's not worth defending one side of your base because you can't, but that's why you want to watch it, because if you see them coming by, it does take a captain a while to get there, and maybe if you see them coming towards your base, you can just build a bunch of flies and cannons to keep them away, because if the captain gets shot down, they can't build anything over there anymore. And if they do happen to build something, since the captain's gone, it'll be easier to destroy whatever they built there. And moving over is a commitment. If you walk over to your base, that is sacrifice some time that you could have done to build banks on your side of the map. So there's pros and cons to everything. Dalniar42 is just building lots and lots of portals. Now he's building hives behind, and I think this is a great idea to build the hives behind, because even though flies are faster, they're better done. They're better to be behind the splairs, because the splairs will take the hits and they'll shoot from behind, and they can really do a lot of damage in high numbers since flies can shoot so fast. The individual bullet might be weak, but after one hit after the other, they can't take everything. And Lennek is just building lots of banks, but holy cow, look at the map! He just has the splairs coming right at him. Nothing he can do. Stop him, it looks. I mean, I guess he could do something. He does have a lot of splairs, but it looks like he's outmatched. He's outnumbered. So as you might see from this match, there is actually a big flaw in this map. And I said I won't mention it till later. It is kind of painful to rewatch this match knowing that, but trust me though, it doesn't really. I don't think it really changed too much of the outcome of the whole tournament, fortunately. Yes, he's just got so many splairs. He's got that huge line of defense, and now he's building more portals. He's got so much money to spend. This is one strat. I guess we can, as the metagame progresses, the battle for peanut butter and jelly, I guess we'll have names for everything. I guess for now we can call this the macro strat, where you're not too offensive to your opponent, but you're like, you defend your base well, and you just slowly build up banks and banks and you build hives and portals. And Lennek, he is doing good, but he's just being outmatched. Dalinar has more portals than him. I mean, Lennek does have a lot, and he's starting to build garden gnomes to attack back, but look, he had nothing defending them. Now he's building the gnomes, which is a good idea, but he did clean up that section. But now there's still more splairs coming, because those portals. I don't know how many portals Dalniar42 has, but look at that. That is so many portals, like every 18 seconds. And now he's just building. There's a bunch of splairs, and he's building the flies behind them. This is going to be a rain of bullets coming down. Is there anything Lennek can do? Look at the money right now. Dalinar has so much money, he can't spend his money fast enough to build splairs, while Lennek is just holding on for dear life. Is there anything he can do? Dang, Dalniar42 is still building troops. There's an unlimited supply of troops that's coming right out of them. Literally no end. He makes money faster than he can spend it. Right now he's not building it, but now he's building the gnomes, and the gnomes, it's destroying a lot of his own troops, but look at the hole it's making in his own defenses. And Lennek's trying to attack back with gnomes, but gnomes are not a good defensive troop. They can be good defensively if you see them coming ahead, but if you're by your own base, it is not a good idea to build those garden gnomes because they can destroy your own base. And it looks like he's just timing it. See, he's not rapidly pressing the gnomes. He's timing it just right so that the garden gnomes are slowly coming in. And the splairs don't have any more toast to walk past. It's just bread. There's nothing stopping that wave of splairs. There's literally like probably 100 splairs on the screen. Lennek will have to destroy all of those if he wants to survive. And then Dalniar42 still has a big defense, and now he's building flies, which the flies are going to shoot the bullets. He won't be able to move. It's going to destroy. The flies are actually faster destroying the jar of jelly and the peanut butter, and it's gone. Team Jelly wins. What a comeback! Dalinar takes the victory with 295 banks versus 95. I think that was the answer to his victory, to how much money he had. 295. I don't know if anyone has built that many banks before in one of our previous matches, but it was very impressive. Sure, he lost more troops, but look how many splairs. 2,226. 24 gnomes. 791 flies. Backing us up. Not as many. He built no gas cannons either. But so he just went with the splair fly route, which is not a bad idea. Victorious Void is what Lennek picks in the Wizard Nest match, and this match will decide it all. Everyone, who will be the winner? We will find out soon. And looks like they're both just building some banks over. And that's how it goes, folks. That's how these matches start. Now, it seems like Lennek is taking a liking to the stage. I guess great minds think alike. Of course, I think everyone in this tournament has done a fine job. I'm very impressed by all of them, how fast they've learned the mechanics. Some of these people have only been playing this game for about a week or so, and they're already doing pretty well. And they've been doing this while they've been going to school. This sure was a fun weekend. Ordered lots of pizza. It was great. I hope they'll hold another tournament in the future. Definitely will fix a lot of the problems that my game had, since the splairs are a little overpowered. I'm pretty sure as you've been watching these matches, they've been the most useful troop. Even though the flies aren't completely useless, they definitely are not as helpful. The people who've been using them a lot of times have been using them and they get overpowered by splairs. But flies can still be useful, and hopefully we can see that in some future matches. It looks like they're both just going for banks right away. Sorry for that beeping noise. That is another change I made in the current update, is that the beeping is not as loud. I made a lot of changes after this tournament. This tournament not only was a fun competitive thing to do, but it was also a good learning experience for me to see what my game could do better at. That's really the best way to know how good your game is watching other people play it, and it's really fun to have people do it. So, quick disclaimer, guys. I was going to tell you this, guys, later, but after this tournament is over, I guess I should probably talk about how Dalinar just built a giant garden gnome. I guess I was so just entranced by them building banks, I forgot to talk about it. I guess that disclaimer has to wait, guys. Oh, the suspense. I guess you have to keep on watching this video. I'm not going to tell you what section of the video. It looks like he's building garden gnome after garden gnome. A little bit expensive to do, but he's taking it one garden gnome at a time. And there are gas cannons in play, which the toast will temporarily be able to hold them off, but not forever, folks. Looks like the splairs are helping, and the splairs are good tanks. Now he's got lots of cannons behind him. He's got some gas cannons of his own, which is good. And look, see how fast that gas can take out those pieces of toast. They can hold them off for a little bit, but not too long. Well-defended gas cannons can be very powerful. They're not instant, but for the patient player, they can be rewarding. As you see, that Dalniar42 is struggling to keep his ground, and Lennek is building some more gas cannons, and now he's going back to retreat to build more banks. But he is quite defenseless on that bridge over there. If only Dalinar knew. And now Dalinar is wisened up and has built some pieces of bread. Since there are so many gas cannons, now he's just got to watch out for splares coming. And now he's building portals, and unfortunately that glitch has happened where I mentioned in an earlier video where the splares are caught onto the side of the stage and can't move. That has been fixed in the current version we have, but unfortunately for this tournament it was not fixed yet. Either way, this is a pretty even match so far. Dalniar42 does have a good defensive base in the middle. And that's probably one reason why I really like this map, guys. I really like how you have to defend a small section that defends the rest of your base. I do plan on making some more maps other than these, and I do plan on making one of the maps a little bit more like this one, where there's a bridge, and just stay in tune for that. And if you have your own ideas, please share them. I can't promise to do all of them, and there's no way I can do all of them, and I have to see what works and works with my vision of the game. But I am welcome to other ideas and troop ideas, and oh boy, he's building those portals way too close to the edge. Sorry, Dalinar, that I can't use a time machine and give you the current updated version, but now we got some splares coming in. They're taking out his gas cannons, and now Lennek is doing his signature strategy of building portals, just focusing on portals. And then now he's building the garden gnome, and boom! Big defense. Now Dalinar made a quick recovery. Now he's building lots and lots of flies, which can be good, but against that many splares, probably not that much. It takes about 10 flies to take out one splare. They can be good, high numbers, but they are dying very quickly, and they're using up his money. And now, the nice thing about the hives here is that they can be built close to the edge, and since flies fly, they can't be stuck by the edge. And now seems that Lennek is building some hives, which is good. We haven't seen too many people use hives yet, but flies are very good in this level. They can fly across the gap and really catch people off guard. I do plan on making more flying troops in the future. And yes, it looks like this is where whoever can take out the middle is going to win. Whoever can control the middle is going to win this match, and it really looks like Lennek has taken every ounce of land he's possibly been able to make, so he's going to try to just take everything else, and he's building splares. Is Dalniar42 able to take care of this? I don't know, we'll be able to handle it. And it's too bad all the splares are stuck. If the splares weren't stuck, maybe this would have changed things. I feel guilty as the game creator for not fixing that beforehand, but it is what it is, everyone. It is what it is. This is why we need another tournament. Oh boy, it looks like Dalinar is just sitting there in disbelief. It's like he has given up. Will he switch to the gnome? Will he switch to the surrender button? That's not actually a surrender button. Holy cow, everyone. He is just sitting there. What is he going to do? He is given up. He just took out his own bank. He's using the garden gnome. He's hit the surrender button. He used it to and he's still in it. And he just Oh, and that makes Lennek the winner of this match, and he will go on to semifinals and 112 banks built. That might have been the key to his victory, everyone. Remember, money's the key. Thank you once again for watching this video, and as always, please like and subscribe and download the Battle for Peanut Butter and Jelly now on Facebook. And remember, video games can be for good. Till next time.